Noah Schnapp gets to plaster LA with Zionism as sexy stickers, and there are absolutely zero consequences for his career. Melissa Barrera posts in support of Palestine and gets dropped from a franchise which she has been a lead in 2 films. Absolutely wild to watch. Melissa Barrera dropped from Scream 7 due to controversial comments. More details on One Take News. This is the controversial comments. I too come from a colonized country. Palestine will be freed. They tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds, she said. I don't know if this is correct or not. I don't know what's happening here. This is a developing story. Variety was the first to report the news. Susan Sarandon has been dropped by her talent agency, UTA, after being vocal about the ongoing genocide happening in Palestine at a pro-Palestinian rally. Nice. My goat. Susan Sarandon is my queen. She is my goat. She is the best. Melissa Barrera was dropped from Scream 7 after social media posts amid Israel-Hamas war. It's fucking ridiculous that there are Hollywood celebrities that have literally been screeching about more genocide, please. More genocide now. We must kill as many babies as possible with not even a fucking fraction of scrutiny. Meanwhile, Susan Sarandon got dropped by UTA. Okay? Even though what she is saying, as Will Menaker correctly points out, any public or semi-public figure who gives voice to the overwhelming majority of public opinion on this issue can expect to face consequences. Like, this is ridiculous. Even if it wasn't the majority perspective, right? Which it is. But even if it wasn't the fucking majority perspective, it is the right perspective. These people are demonstrating moral courage, moral clarity in a time where it is absolutely a necessity to speak truth to power. And what is happening as a consequence of that? They're getting fucking fired. They're losing their positions. Meanwhile, those, as Zach Silberberg mentions here, did Amy Schumer face any consequences for insanely racist posts? Or is it just the anti-genocide folks getting punished? We know the answer. Scream producers came out and explained. Spyglass says Melissa Barrera was fired from Scream due to rhetoric that flagrantly crosses the line into hate speech. Spyglass Media Group initially declined to comment when Variety broke the news the company had dropped Melissa Barrera from the cast of Scream 7, but now the production banner behind the hit horror franchise's revival push is pushing back on the narrative that has quickly coalesced around the decision that Barrera was fired for showing support for the Palestinian cause. Instead, a spokesperson clarifies that Barrera's posts were interpreted as anti-Semitic. How cowardly of the mainstream media to literally be like, well, they're interpreted as anti-Semitic. That's how you know it's like they're openly stating that it's probably not. Spyglass' stance is unequivocally clear. We have zero tolerance for anti-Semitism or the incitement of hate in any form, including false references to genocide, ethnic cleansing, Holocaust extortion, or anything that flagrantly crosses the line of hate speech. In the wake of the October 7 Hamas terror attacks and Israel's subsequent attacks on Gaza, Barrera has been posting on her Instagram about the conflict, sharing posts that accuse Israel of genocide and ethnic cleansing. Wow, that's crazy. That's so fucking anti-Semitic. And distorting the Holocaust to boost the Israeli arms industry. Spyglass, I don't even know what the fuck this means, by the way. Spyglass quickly cut ties with the In the Heights actor following the post. Barrera was slated to star in the next Scream outing after leading the 5th and 6th entries in the past 2 years. Barrera is no longer working with the publicist, though it is unclear who dropped whom when the relationship was ended. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy. Jenna Ortega is pro-Palestine too. Yeah, if you notice, she hasn't been as vocal this time around. Okay? She has not been as vocal this time around. I wonder why. Because every single person pretty much understands that if you fucking say anything and everything, there's motherfuckers waiting for you to waiting to misconstrue what you're saying if you're pro-Palestinian. So they can be like, oh, see, I told you. Yeah, no, this is a nut up or shut up moment, or more so, shut the fuck up. Don't say anything about Israel. She posted a story from a Jewish person's perspective. She's smart. Yeah, I mean, even that could still lead to problems for you. Yeah, remember the Times of Israel post from Danielle Margolis? Jenna Ortega versus Kanye. Whose anti-Semitic hate is worse? Oh, God. Remember when we covered this? This was a simpler time. Yeah. Simpler time, and yet so similar to the ongoing issues. Yeah. The comparison is so laughable because Jenna Ortega said Israel is an apartheid state. Kanye West is just anti-Semitic. Okay? Who's more dangerous to the safety of the Jewish people, Kanye West or Jenna Ortega? Easy, right? Kanye is an open Jew hater. This is true. He creates tweets that are both incomprehensible and threateningly anti-Semitic, spews Black Hebrew Israelite and Nation of Islam propaganda, and declares his love for Hitler and the Nazis. Yeah, Kanye West, pretty obvious. Like he went full Nazi. There was no question, you know? He even appeared to cause discomfort for even Alex Jones, the guy who attacked the survivors of the Sandy Hook shooting. Ortega, here, okay. While West uses his social media and self-aggrandizement, unhinged rants, and declarations that he is a god and most troublingly Jew hatred, Ortega uses hers to promote her work in humanitarian causes. She seems to genuinely want to help others. And therein lies the problem. The anti-Semitism of the well-intentioned but uninformed. Yeah, she posted, decolonize Palestine. Decolonize, question mark. Was this a clumsy attempt at supporting a two-state solution? I clicked the link and I was horrified. Hamas-style propaganda. I found a site that was extremist propaganda, sadly, not uncommon, even on Netflix, advocating for the same position Hamas holds, the abolition of the state of Israel, the world's only Jewish state, small being Jewish state, existing only in part of the land which Jews are indigenous. The site tells a fictional story in which Jews from Europe were and are foreign invaders who violently displaced the Pacific Palestinian people, which is objectively true. What the fuck are we doing? For example, the following appears in the Palestine 101 section. The website that she fucking posted about, by the way, again, which she deleted, I guess, so that tweet is gone, was this website, decolonizepalestine.com. A wonderful website that has a lot of information and shows you the myths, the cute little grandma with a little key on her belt. I love this. I love this because it immediately showcases, like, look, one paragraph for Kanye West being like, he loves Adolf Hitler, it's his favorite guy. And then the rest of the article is literally about how anti-Semitic Jenna Ortega is. Kanye on Alex Jones clip for reference. I don't even want to click on it, okay? It's so gross. Everything that Kanye West said was so fucking gross. Man, stop saying fucking dumbass shit like Kanye had a point. Suck my dick. Okay? You're such a stupid bitch, dude. Fuck you. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, dude, Kanye West definitely was a rugged anti-Zionist. Like, what are you talking about? I can't tell if these people are, like, very specifically trying to do some Nazi shit in here, like sneakily throwing this stuff in there, either to, try and like, pollute the messaging, which is probably the worst place you could try and do this at, for the record, or two, are doing this because, like, they are just anti-Semitic as fuck and think that, like, you know, this is a good place to try and drop like that. One of the worst places, straight up. You will have an easier time spreading anti-Semitic conspiracy theories in a fucking Zionist Christian gathering, or even a Jewish Zionist gathering, as a matter of fact, if you look to what the ADL's position is on the matter, than a community like this one, okay? There's two different reasons for it. Number one, I've literally been banned for shitting on Kanye West and all of the other goddamn Nazis, okay? Alongside him. I've actually been banned before by Twitch. There's two reasons. One, anti-Semitism is never appropriate and never acceptable, okay? Two, it also is an incorrect analysis of the situation. Not only is it inappropriate, bigoted, hateful, it's also stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You're just wrong. You're objectively wrong. You're trying to put the cart before the horse and trying to fucking literally turn around and try to fit a narrative that corresponds to your stupid ass worldview. Can you explain why that's a bad thing to say, insinuating maybe Jews really do run everything behind the scenes? I'm trying to explain to a friend and they're not getting it. I have already time and time again. Okay? This country is run by capitalists, capital owners. Our foreign policy reflects the interests of capital owners. American imperialism is a diverse group of individuals. It has nothing to do with Jewish people in general. Okay? There are Jewish capitalists as there are Jewish anti-capitalists. I don't want to fucking pull up the goddamn Vladimir Lenin quote once again. America's foreign policy has nothing to do with Jewish people. Okay? America does not give a fuck about Jewish people historically, and it certainly does not give a fuck about Jewish people now. America cares about American corporate interests. Okay? There might be different reasons why the Christian Zionist movement believe for religious purposes, like the evangelical Zionists who believe in the state of Israel's existence being a violent one and rapidly aid the settlement project that the Israeli government is also pushing. But ultimately, Israel can get away with doing whatever the fuck it wants, not because it controls America, but vice versa. Israel's goals perfectly align with America's goals in the region. America wants a forward operating base in the region. It's a resource-rich region that it wants to destabilize and control. America wants an espionage wing in the region. Israel offers both. This is why time and time again, America has funded and facilitated Israel's ethnic cleansing campaigns and has given it the go-ahead, and at times even told them to stop. Very successfully so. I thought that's what we use Saudi Arabia for. We do use Saudi Arabia for that reason as well. Ridiculous. It's stupid. It's also wrong. The one thing Kanye West didn't say, however, was that he's pro-Israel. And if he had said all of those things and then followed that up with, but Israel has a right to defend itself, it seems at least the ADL would be like, yeah, that's fine. Here's the post that actually got Barrera cut from Scream, not the other one. This could be construed as anti-Semitic, and she could have probably chose her phrasing a bit better. The Slash Film article, Melissa Barrera was filmed from Scream 7 for leaning into an anti-Semitic trope that Jews control the media, and I have to assume it's referencing this Instagram story. This is quite blatantly misconstruing what she said. I've been actively looking for videos and information for the Palestinian side for the last 2 weeks or so, following accounts, etc. Why? Because Western media only shows the other side. Why they do that, I will let you deduce for yourself. I mean, this literally means because it's in line with America's foreign policy interests. I'm 32 years old. I'm not 37. Q chatters. Usually the algorithm on social media gets the gist. Well, my Discover page on IG will only show me videos showing and talking about the Israeli side. Censorship is very real. This is really funny that she's saying this because it's objectively incorrect. The real reason why she most likely is only seeing pro-Israeli information is because she's like a Hollywood actor, and a lot of the fucking Hollywood actors that signed the fucking no ceasefire, go full tilt letter and are pro-Israel. It's probably who she is. It's probably who she's friends with. My entire fucking feed on Instagram is just straight up, top to bottom, dead children. Like children in plastic bags, dead children whose literally heads have exploded from Israeli rockets. It's really, really horrifying. That is my entire feed. Why? Because I follow Eyes on Palestine. I follow Sean King. I follow Motaz. I follow Plestia. I follow all of the Palestinian journalists. And also, most of my friends are anti-Zionist. I do have Zionist friends as well, certainly. Why do you follow Sean King? Because he is doing hostage negotiations. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. He's the one who's releasing hostages. The real question is, why don't you? Usually the algorithm on social media censorship, Palestinians know this. They know the world has been trying to make them invisible for decades. Keep sharing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is like, I think this part could have been worded more carefully, but this does not mean she's saying that Jews control the media. This is an insane reason to fire someone without even giving her a chance to clarify what she meant. Apparently, this comment also led to her firing. Yeah, she said Gaza is being treated like a concentration camp, cornering everyone together with nowhere to go, no electricity, no power. People are still silently watching all this happen. This is genocide and ethnic cleansing. Those were the statements. that caused her to be fired. Objectively true. The other one could have been misconstrued, I guess, if you're like super cynical in your read. Yeah, it's ridiculous. My point always is you gotta be very careful. You can't allow anything to be misconstrued. You have to use your words very carefully. People will still turn around. People will still fucking turn around and say you're being anti-Semitic or that you love terrorism, that you want to kill settler babies. Like, these are the things that people say about me. If you've been in here for long enough time, over the course of the past 2 months, you know that I've never advocated for positions like that, but it still doesn't matter. Yeah. Once again, by the way, actual anti-Semites in Hollywood still operating. Just saying. I don't think Hollywood has that big of an issue with anti-Semitism. Like, you know, people saying actually anti-Semitic things. Just, or maybe because he's also said a bunch of other racist stuff. So they're like, oh, he's just like a bad guy. He's racist. He's equal opportunity racist. So he's fine. Yeah, he literally said Jews are why Jesus was killed. He's insane. He's making a sequel to The Passion of Christ? Wait, how? What? What do you mean? How do you make a sequel to The Passion of Christ? Isn't it? It's over, right? Like, what do you mean? Is there a new Jesus coming? Oh my God, is it Jesus coming back to Earth like rapture shit? Because that's pretty pog. He supposedly kept getting struck by lightning during the filming of the Jesus movie and thought it was a good idea to keep going. Passion of the Christ 2 Book of Mormon? No, Passion of the Christ 2 is like literally fucking wiping out the West Bank. He's going to go into the West Bank and fist fight every Palestinian so that Jesus can come back to Earth. But yeah, this is McCarthyism. It's happening already. It's been happening. It's ridiculous. Hollywood has done this before, and they will do it again. As far as I understand, law firms are taking an insane stance against any kind of mention whatsoever that is like pro-Palestinian is met with a shit ton of resistance and McCarthyist ways of denying you an opportunity of employment. But what were we expecting? Of course, this was going to happen. The media spent the past month and a half hyper-focusing on college campuses and incredibly selfish, incredibly self-centered, incredibly idiotic perspectives instead of covering the actual fucking news in an honest way. So, you know, they were setting up the reasonable manufactured consent to be able to act out like this, to engage in these kinds of unjustifiable, McCarthyist, pro-censorship, to engage in like censorious actions like this for reasonable perspective. The only thing you must remember in all of this, in this sea of hopelessness, is that there are more of us who demand emancipation for Palestinians, who demand an end to the occupation, end to the apartheid, than there are of those who want the occupation to continue. And even if there weren't more of us out there all around the world, that still would not change the reality that our cause is just. Okay? Do not get intimidated. Do not back down. The pressure campaign that many of you have participated in mounting has unironically changed the outcome. In all of the years of my advocacy for Palestinian emancipation, I have never seen this much support for Palestinians, specifically from the younger generation, certainly. But remember that this kind of pressure campaign from all of these organizations that control the levers of power only will work if you back down. Okay? There is a reason why. There is a reason why these institutions are so desperately trying to stop the flow of information. It's because they cannot defend against people seeing the truth. Once you recognize the truth about the ongoing atrocities in Gaza, it is very hard for you to unsee it. Okay? It's almost impossible for you to remain to remain quiet. The only way that they can try to demand you stay quiet is by threatening your employment, is by doxing, is by trying to force you into submission. And the only way to push back against that is by demonstrating solidarity. Okay? So do not back away, and do not be bullied, do not be threatened. Keep peacefully demonstrating. Oh, she's pressing buttons. Calm down. No! Anyway, guys, love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.